This reckon, do this reckon is the pregnant baby you the pregnant at a party is baby daddy was dating someone else, but they got us. Like, so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this reckon 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh.
Jonah Davis stared at the pregnancy test on the bathroom counter, his entire world crashing down around him. 3 lines. Positive. He was 19 years old, a college freshman, and somehow, impossibly, he was pregnant. The
Wow.
father? Caden Matthews, the most popular guy on campus who was currently dating the captain of the cheerleading squad. And
Really?
Caden had no idea what they'd done at that party 3 months ago would change both their lives forever.
Yeah.
Jonah Davis had always been invisible at Riverside State University. At 19, he was a college freshman who kept his head down, got decent grades, and had a small circle of friends. He wasn't popular, wasn't athletic, wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
Just another face in the crowded lecture halls. But Jonah had one thing that made him happy: his boyfriend Tanner Brooks.
Yeah.
They'd been together for 8 months.
Wow.
Jonah's first real relationship. Tanner was everything Jonah wanted: charming, attentive, seemingly perfect. Until Jonah found out Tanner had been cheating on him with a girl from another dorm. The breakup
Really?
was brutal. Tanner didn't
Wow.
apologize, didn't try to explain. He just said, "We're done," and walked away, leaving Jonah
Wow.
completely shattered. Jonah spent 2 weeks barely functioning. He stopped going to club meetings, stopped hanging out with friends, spent most of his time in his dorm room crying. His best friend Maya finally had enough. "You need to get out," Maya said, pulling Jonah off his bed. "There's that huge party at the Sigma house this weekend. Everyone's going. You're coming with me." "I don't want to go to a party," Jonah protested. "Too bad. You're going. We're going to drink cheap beer, dance to bad music, and help you forget Tanner ever existed." Reluctantly, Jonah agreed. Maybe Maya was right. Maybe one night of just letting go would help him feel better. He had no idea how much that one night would change everything. The Sigma house was packed. Music blasted from speakers. Red Solo cups were everywhere. Students from every dorm and major seemed to be crammed into the fraternity house and backyard. Jonah felt out of place immediately. He wasn't a party person. He didn't drink much. He definitely didn't hook up with random people. But Maya handed him a drink and dragged him into the crowd. "Loosen up," Maya shouted over the music. "Tonight
Yeah.
is about having fun." Jonah drank. Then he drank more. The alcohol made everything fuzzy, easier. The pain of the breakup dulled. He started dancing, laughing, feeling free for the first time in weeks. That's when he saw Caden Matthews. Everyone knew Caden. He was the golden boy of Riverside State, star quarterback,
Really?
business major with a 4.0 GPA, dating Marcy Carter,
Wow.
the beautiful and popular captain of the cheerleading squad. Caden was the kind of guy who had everything and everyone loved him. Jonah had never spoken to Caden. They existed in completely different social universes. But that night, Caden was standing alone in the kitchen, looking stressed and tired. "You okay?" Jonah asked, the alcohol making him braver than usual. Caden looked up, surprised. "Yeah, just needed a break from the crowd." They started talking. Jonah couldn't remember later exactly what they talked about: school, stress, relationships. Caden mentioned fighting with Marcy. Jonah mentioned his
Wow,
breakup
really?
with Tanner. The conversation flowed easily, helped by the alcohol in both their systems. Then, somehow, they were kissing. Jonah didn't plan it. Caden didn't plan it. It just happened. And then they were upstairs in one of the empty bedrooms, drunk and lonely and looking for comfort in each other. Jonah woke up the next morning with a splitting headache and fragmented memories. Caden was already gone. Jonah got dressed quickly and left, hoping no one saw him. He tried to forget about it. One drunken mistake at a party. It didn't mean anything. Caden went back to Marcy. Jonah went back to being invisible. Life continued. Until 3 months later, when everything changed. Jonah had been
Yeah.
feeling sick for weeks. Nauseous every
Wow, really? No, sir, every moment.
morning. Exhausted
Could that be morning sickness?
constantly. His body felt different in ways he couldn't explain. He assumed it was stress or depression from the breakup. Then he missed his period. Jonah was transgender. He'd transitioned in high school, been on testosterone for over 3 years. He hadn't had a period in over 2 years. His doctors had told him pregnancy was extremely unlikely on testosterone, but the symptoms were undeniable. Maya
Yeah.
convinced him to take a pregnancy test. Jonah bought 3 tests at a pharmacy across town where no one would recognize him. He took them in Maya's dorm bathroom, hands shaking. All 3 were positive. "Oh my God," Maya
Wow.
whispered, staring at the tests. "Jonah, you're pregnant." Jonah couldn't breathe. "This isn't
What?
possible. I'm on testosterone. I'm a guy. I can't be pregnant." "But you are," Maya said gently. "The tests don't lie. You need to see a doctor." At the campus health center, Dr. Sandra Lopez confirmed it. Jonah was 14 weeks pregnant. Testosterone reduces fertility significantly, but it doesn't eliminate it completely, she
Oh,
explained.
really?
If you still have your reproductive organs and you were sexually active without protection, pregnancy can occur through breakthrough ovulation. Jonah sat in stunned silence.
Wow.
Then he asked the question he'd been dreading. "What do I do?" "That's your choice," Dr. Lopez said. "You have options: termination, adoption, or continuing the pregnancy. But you need to decide soon, and you need to tell the father." The father, Caden Matthews, the most popular guy on campus who was dating Marcy Carter and had no idea Jonah even existed beyond
Wow.
that one drunken night. It took Jonah 2 weeks to gather the courage to tell Caden. He waited after football practice one day, catching Caden alone by his car in the parking lot. "Caden, I need to talk to you." Caden looked confused. "Do I know you?" That hurt more than Jonah expected. "We met at the Sigma party 3 months ago." Understanding dawned on Caden's face, followed by panic. "Oh, yeah. Listen, that was a mistake. I'm pregnant," Jonah interrupted. 14 weeks. You're the father." Caden went pale. "What? That's impossible. You're a guy. I'm transgender," Jonah said quietly. "And apparently testosterone isn't foolproof birth control. I'm
Wow.
pregnant, and it's yours." Caden leaned against his car, looking like he might pass out. "Are you sure? I've been to a doctor. I've had ultrasounds. I'm sure. What are you going to do?" Jonah took a deep breath. "I'm keeping it. I don't expect anything from you. I just thought you should know." Caden ran his hands through his hair. "Keeping it. Jonah, we're 19. We're college freshmen. We're barely adults. This is insane." "I know," Jonah said, "but it's happening. And I'm telling you because you have a right to know. What you do with that information is up to you." Jonah walked away, leaving Caden standing there in shock. Caden showed up
Exactly.
at Jonah's dorm room the next day. "We need to talk." They sat in Jonah's cramped dorm room, the awkwardness overwhelming. Caden spoke first. "I broke up with Marcy. I told her. Well, I didn't tell her everything, but I ended it." Jonah looked surprised. "Why?" "Because I can't keep dating her while you're pregnant with my kid. That's not fair to anyone."
Oof.
Caden looked at Jonah seriously. "I want to be involved. I want to help. I have no idea how to do this, but we'll figure it out together." Over the next few weeks, they navigated the impossible situation. Caden started coming over after classes. They'd do homework together, talk about the baby, try to plan for a future neither of them had imagined. Jonah's parents were shocked but supportive. Caden's parents, however, were furious. When they found out, they demanded Caden and Jonah meet them for dinner. "This is ridiculous," Caden's father, Robert Matthews, said. "You're both 19. You're in college. You can't raise a baby." "We're going to try," Caden said firmly. "No," Caden's mother, Patricia, interrupted. "You're going to give this baby up for adoption. We've already contacted agencies. It's the best option for everyone." "That's not your decision," Jonah said quietly. "This is my body. My baby." "You're 19, Robert shot back. "You have no job, no resources, no degree. You're throwing away your future if you keep this child. Adoption is the responsible choice." Caden stood up. "We're not giving up our baby." End of discussion. They left, Caden's parents furious and Jonah terrified. The pressure from Caden's family was constant. Phone calls, emails, showing up at Jonah's dorm with adoption pamphlets. At 20 weeks, just when Jonah thought things couldn't get more complicated,
Wow.
Tanner showed up. Jonah was walking back from class when Tanner appeared beside him. "Hey, Jonah." Jonah's heart stopped. "What do you want?" "I heard about everything. The pregnancy." "Caden, I wanted to talk to you." "There's nothing to talk about," Jonah said, walking faster. "I made a mistake,"
This booby bump.
Tanner said, keeping pace. "Breaking up with you was the biggest mistake of my life."
You didn't realize that, no? Really?
"I want you back." Jonah stopped walking and stared at him. You're serious right now? I'm pregnant with someone else's baby. I don't care, Tanner said. I love you. I can help you raise the baby. We can be a family. You cheated on me, Jonas said, his voice shaking. You destroyed me. And now you show up because what? You feel guilty? You want to play hero? I want to make things right, Tanner insisted. You can't, Jonas said. I've moved on. I'm with Caden now. We're having a baby together. You need to leave me alone. But Tanner didn't leave him alone. He kept showing up at classes, at Jonah's dorm, leaving messages. It
Uh-oh.
stressed Jonah out, which stressed Caden out, which created tension between them at a time when they needed to be united. As Jonah's pregnancy progressed, life became increasingly difficult. He was showing now, his belly was undeniable. Students on
Yeah.
campus stared, whispered, made cruel comments. Professors didn't know how to handle a visibly pregnant male student. Some were supportive, others made Jonah's life miserable. Caden stood by him through all of it. They attended prenatal
Oh.
appointments together. They picked out baby names. They prepared for parenthood while also trying to finish their freshman year. But the stress was enormous. Caden's parents continued
Wow.
pressuring them to consider adoption. Tanner continued trying to insert himself into Jonah's life. Jonah's body was changing in ways that made him dysphoric. The reality of being 19 and about to become parents was overwhelming. One night, at 32 weeks pregnant, Jonah broke down. What if everyone's right? What if we can't do this? Caden held him. We can do this. We're scared, but we're in this together. We love our baby. That's what matters. At
Yeah.
38 weeks,
Oh.
Jonah went into labor during his English literature final
Really?
exam. Caden rushed him to the hospital, both of them terrified. After 12 hours of labor, Jonah gave birth to a healthy baby boy, 7 pounds, 6 ounces. Perfect. They named him Noah. When the nurse placed
No.
Noah in
Oh.
Jonah's arms, everything else faded. The stress, the judgment, the complications, none of it mattered. They were parents. They had a son. Caden's parents visited the hospital. Patricia held Noah and started crying. He's beautiful, she whispered. I'm sorry. I was so focused on what was practical that I forgot what was important. This is your son, your family. Even
Yeah.
Tanner showed up, saw Jonah with Caden and Noah, and finally understood.
Wow. You finally understood. Took a long, took a long enough.
I get it now, he said quietly. You've moved on. You have a family. I'm happy for you, Jonah. Really. Today, Noah is 6 months old. Jonah and Caden are continuing college while co-parenting. They moved into a small apartment together off campus. It's hard, exhausting, stressful, financially difficult. They work part-time jobs, take online classes, and survive on very little sleep. But they're making it work. So here's my message. This story shows the reality of young parenthood and the unique challenges of transgender pregnancy. But this is not something to romanticize or try to replicate.
True.
Becoming a parent at 19 comes with enormous challenges:
True.
financial stress, interrupted
Yeah.
education, limited career opportunities. If you're sexually active, use protection. Every
Yeah.
time. No exceptions. And if you're transgender and on testosterone, don't assume you can't get pregnant. Talk to your doctor about contraception. Testosterone is not birth control.
True.
Here's my question. How do we better support young parents? And what does Jonah and Caden's story teach us about taking responsibility for our choices? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because
Wow.
sometimes love means doing the hard thing, even
True.
when everyone says you can't.
Yeah. Wow. Alright, the pregnant baby you the pregnant at a party is baby daddy while dating someone else, but that got tossed. The link to the video will be the description below. Go on check them out and drop a like if you like and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new and click the bell so you can be notified below in my bye. Wow.